Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest, Explore Worldwide's travel and adventure expert, Katy Rockett, as we discuss travel trends and the benefits of self-first travel. So are you looking for your next great adventure, but you're just not sure where to start? Well, today's show is just for you. So Katy Rockett comes to us with a wealth of experience. She joined Explore Worldwide in January, bringing 15 years of experience in adventure travel, coming directly from General Manager and Director of Growth roles at Exodus Travel, and having previously held senior marketing positions with both Exodus and Intrepid Travel. Based in Toronto for a worldwide customer base, Katy will facilitate the business's ambitious global growth plans and focus on delivering exceptional tours, customer service, and marketing activities across the region. So welcome to the show, Katy Rockett.
Thank you so much.
What an honor it is to have you here to talk about this. My goodness, there's so much going on with solo travel. Are there some trends that we need to know about?
Yes, absolutely. This is something I've been looking at quite a bit recently, and we've seen some really interesting trends starting to emerge from solo travelers. One of them is really related to the destinations people are going. We always see Italy and Spain and Portugal through Explore Worldwide, which is a small group adventure travel company. We have tours all over the world, but Italy, Spain, and Portugal always rank at the top for where we see travelers wanting to go, particularly solo travelers. And one interesting region of Portugal that's really emerged this year is Madeira. I think people have done a lot of travel within mainland Portugal and are starting to look out beyond, wanting to go to some of the more kind of remote areas and get to see the country in a different way. And Madeira has really popped up in our top destinations that people are wanting to go. We have some great trips there. And I think that people are really attracted to the volcanic landscapes. There's a subtropical climate, spectacular food and wine, and some really unique areas that just make this area so special. I think for solo travelers, it's a safe place to go. There's so much to experience. So people are really eager to rush to this region.
So I know we had a discussion earlier, and I want to touch on this again. So when we talk about solo travel, what does that look like when people book through Explore Worldwide?
Yeah, that's a great question. When people book solo travel through Explore Worldwide, they're joining our company because we offer small group adventures. So what that means, you're traveling with a group of like-minded individuals. Our average group size is about 11 people, so it's the perfect size to, have like-minded camaraderie within the group, but also really get off the beaten path and explore those hidden gems that you just can't see when you're in a big group. We also have a leader that accompanies all of our trips. So you've got this built-in security with someone who's there to just make sure the trip runs smoothly, who's there to answer your questions and really give you those unique local insights. And we also have, all of the logistics taken care of. So the accommodation is booked. We transport your luggage from location to location. So you really just get to show up and truly just enjoy the experience. And that's particularly appealing to solo travelers, where it can be a little bit daunting to just show up to a new country and try to just navigate it all completely on your own.
So has there been a rise in small group travel like that?
Absolutely. I think we've seen a rise in small group travel in general. I think people are getting more and more aware of this as a style of travel. So we do see, couples and friends and all sorts of people book on our trips, but solo travelers in particular are really an increasing source of people that we see coming onto our trips. And I think, obviously all the reasons that I mentioned in terms of the safety and security, but I think for solo travelers in general, people are just eager to get out. They want to explore the world. There's a lot of events that we see happening in the world, whether it's political unrest or what we saw with the pandemic a few years ago. People realize that traveling isn't something you can take for granted. And you don't want to hold yourself back just because you can't align your schedule with fellow travelers or you're interested in a different destination. There's so many reasons why you might want to go it alone. And I think people are just really excited about that opportunity and want to get out there. And finding a small group operator, like I said, to have that camaraderie and to have the logistics taken care of is just such an appealing way to do it. It makes it a lot easier to jump out and go into an area that might be a little bit more uncomfortable or daunting to travel on your own.
I can understand that. I mean, how often do we want to travel? And our travel buddies are either booked, married, kids, their schedule doesn't work. I mean, it makes it so difficult when we just want to get up and go.
It's so true. I think there's something that's just so liberating about the idea of just being able to, look at a map or look at your wish list, your bucket list, and just have nothing to hold you back to just pick where you want to go and just go ahead and do it and not have to worry about, finding the right person or like you said, the right time. I think there's just something so empowering about being able to do that.
Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Explore Worldwide's travel and adventure expert, Katy Rockett. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Are you a coffee lover who wants to make a difference? Look no further than Fire Department Coffee, a veteran-owned business that gives back to support first responders in need. Each batch of coffee is freshly roasted right here in the USA by a dedicated team of first responders and coffee experts. So when you enjoy a cup of Fire Department coffee, you're not only drinking high-quality coffee, you're supporting members of your community. Start your day with a coffee that gives back. Visit firedepartmentcoffee.com. That's fire, D-E-P-T, coffee.com.
Hey, pay attention, everybody. Amy Vaughn and myself, Dutch Mendenhall, are hosting an event. Have you ever felt like the wealthiest in America play by a different rule book? Even if you earn well, make money, invest wisely, educate yourself, there is an invisible barrier. It separates you from the financial security enjoyed by America's elite. The economic landscape changes every day. The wealthy elite know how to stay ahead of it because we play by a different rule book. At InvestWell Summit, we'll share all the plays, and we're making it to win. Spots are going to sell out fast at InvestWell Summit, so get your butt to investwellsummit.com and secure your seat now.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special. When you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We're here today with special guest, Explore Worldwide's travel and adventure expert, Katy Rockett, who's here to share with us self-first travel. I know so many of us want to get out there and start exploring, but how do we do that when we're by ourselves? That seems to be like a big question. Well, today, Katy's here to share with us how to do just that. So are people really looking for companies that have the experience, just like Explore does, in building these incredible itineraries?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why people are so attracted to this style of travel and book with companies like Explore. I mean, we have 40 years of experience. So we've done it all. We've tried it all. Having that expertise and that support and just that insight into different areas and where you want to go. I mean, guidebooks provide great insight, and you can obviously find a lot online. But actually going with a company that's been doing it for so long and has those, that operations on the ground in the destination, they know it better than anybody else. So it's really nice to just tap into that expertise and that experience so that you know that you're getting the most of your vacation. Vacation days are precious. We don't get a lot of them. So you really want to make sure that when you're showing up in a destination that you're really going to maximize that experience.
So, do you tend to kind of blend sightseeing and having people experience those hidden gems?
Absolutely. It's really important to us to make sure that people see the sites that they want to see. Obviously, if you're going to certain areas of the world and it's your first time there, you want to see all of those sort of items that you or those destinations and those sites that are just so important and iconic. But you really want to experience the culture. And I think that's what people might not realize so much when they're booking a trip. But when you get there and you realize how rich other cultures are through their food, through interacting with locals, by getting to go to spaces that only locals know, getting to have that balance and that blend on a trip really gets you fully immersed in a destination and gives you a much more rewarding and long-lasting experience and memories that you can really carry after the experience is done.
So, what are some of the destinations that you can give us an example of that tend to be really popular?
That's a great question. I mean, our top selling destination, hands down, is the Amalfi Coast in Italy. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful area of the world. You get to walk on the iconic Walk of the Gods. The food. So much to be said for Italian food. I don't think anyone in the world will deny that. So that's definitely one of the top places that we see. Malta, interestingly, is one and that's probably a little bit less known. It's another island nation, so I guess we're seeing a bit of trend on some of these island nations within Europe. But Malta is another one that's really popular again for solo travelers, and I think people are just really looking for any place that they can find that blend of the sites that we talked about, but also just getting that culture. And I think the landscapes. There's some really breathtaking landscapes, particularly within Europe, that people might not be as aware of. And coming from North America, I mean, we're blessed with a beautiful, beautiful geography and all different types of landscapes that you see in Canada and the US. But when you get to travel abroad and go to Europe, you don't expect that necessarily. And there are just some breathtaking areas. So people are really looking to see that and experience that, particularly by being active and going on some of our walking or our cycling trips. You really get out there and see destinations in a different way by doing it in an active sense.
So, let me get this right. So, people can also go hiking and do cycling trips with you?
Absolutely. No, we have quite a wide variety of different trip styles. We really wanted to make sure that there was, different opportunities for everybody who wants to travel. We do our cultural discovery trip, which, we have private transport throughout. So you get to go out and really get beyond. And it's definitely not all sitting on a bus. You're doing plenty of walking on those trips as well and really getting out and seeing the destination. But we do offer specialist activity trips. So we have our walking trips, and that can be anything from a kind of more bucket list experience like walking the Camino, which is really popular for us. That's in Spain. But we also have, different trips that are a little bit more specialized in different areas. We have walking trips in Sicily and through all different areas of Europe and throughout the world, realistically. And then cycling, which is an interesting one. I think people are kind of think of cycling on a trip would be very daunting and overwhelming, but we offer e-bikes to make it more accessible. So if you are a little bit more casual as a cyclist, you can go out and still feel really comfortable and enjoy the experience and not have to worry about kind of getting through all of the miles in a day. And we have the support of a vehicle as well, so that if you are tired and you need a break, we've got that backup as well. And I think having that all arranged by a company, there's a lot to be said for that, because that's something that can be really difficult to try to organize on your own.
Now, this is something that's been on my list other than Malta, because Malta definitely is on my list, but also Iceland. I mean, do you guys have tours in Iceland?
We do, and I have to say Iceland is one of my favorite destinations. I've been there a few times. I actually was lucky enough to do a cycling trip there a few years ago. But it is just it is unworldly. You feel like you're on a different planet almost, especially if you go in the summer and the sun barely touches below the horizon before it starts to rise again, because you just have these extensively long days. But the geothermal activity that's there, the volcanic landscapes, the people are so friendly, and the food is really interesting. It's honestly, it's one of my favorite places to visit. So yes, if it's on your list, I highly recommend booking a trip and getting there soon.
So at Explore Worldwide, do you have options for people to do like last minute tours? Let's say they want to go ahead and they just decide, hey, I've listened to this great discussion with Katie, and I'm going to go.
Absolutely. No, we've always got lots of last minute trips available. We actually have, through our newsletter, we send, I think, at least on a monthly basis, we send out last minute trip options. So it's always great, sign up for the newsletter and then you get a chance to see what those last minute places that are available. You can get some really great deals that way as well, because a lot of times operators will lower the cost on departures that are coming up soon. So it can actually be a little bit of a way to save. You get to be impulsive and save a few dollars at the end of the day. So it's a great way to approach it. And sometimes, especially if you don't know where you want to go, going last minute is fun, because you can just see where the world opens up to you and what opportunities are available, and just kind of take it from there.
So, how do people get started with Explore Worldwide?
Best place to start is on our website. So go to exploreworldwide.com. We have lots of inspiration on our website. There's our blog, which has a lot of experiences from other travelers and places that you can go. Our full portfolio of trips is available to research. And as I mentioned, if you want to have a conversation, pick up the phone, give us a call, subscribe to our newsletter, and that'll always be giving you inspiration for where you can go next.
And get to planning your next great adventure. How exciting is that? Well, Katy, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Make sure to visit Explore Worldwide's website and sign up for their newsletter and learn about the great tips on travel. Who knows, there might be a trip there for you that you didn't think you can take, but it's available. So make sure to check that out. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.